When late perimenopause symptoms struck in the summer, one of my tools was to return back to nature. And I'm going to share with you in this video just how nature can support any of us when we're going through stress, anxiety, or difficulties in life. And returning to nature really is a message of your true nature, that you are from nature. Hi, I'm Delith, and I'm a trauma-informed practitioner and therapeutic guide. I support women to become more of their true nature, more connected, creative, confident, and accessing more of their inner calmness and inner peace. So when I was moving through these very intense waves of anxiety, particularly at night, in the daytime I was experiencing intense fatigue and also feeling quite depressive. So my nervous system was swinging from hyper arousal, so fight or flight, and then hypo arousal, more of the freeze, fatigue response. And so I was conscious of this because of the work I do and how I work with women, that I needed to support my whole body, my mind and my body. And as I've shared in other videos, I returned to many tools, and I returned into the arms of nature. So what did this actually look like? It meant that no matter how I felt emotionally or mentally or physically, I got outside into the natural world every day. And today I'm filming from one of my most favourite woodlands. I'm also a forest bathing guide, and I'll share more about that in a minute. But at the time I was staying somewhere else. I was actually in a town, and I just connected with the land there. So I would walk by the river, and the water would feel soothing. And as we're walking in nature and slowing down, we're actually toning our vagus nerve. And our vagus nerve is a part of the autonomic nervous system, which is all about our stress responses. So when you walk for, you may need to walk for half an hour or a couple of hours. Through walking with nature, you're going to tone your vagus nerve to help you to move back into a parasympathetic state, into rest and digest. So I was doing this every day, and then how that feels inside is that your mind, my mind, your mind will settle. The ruminating thoughts will gradually begin to drop away. You'll start to feel more energized, and you'll experience more clarity, maybe some more hope will appear. Now, I was doing this every day, twice a day. So you work with what you need at that time. This takes me back really to around 2017, when I was processing a lot of repressed emotions, which meant I had waves and waves and waves of very intense anxiety, of grief, of rage. And I would come into the woodland and I would feel very safe here, and I would release my emotions, because nature never judges. Nature will always meet you where you are at. And because of my own healing experiences with nature, I then trained to be a forest therapy practitioner and a forest bathing guide. And I bring people to this very woodland for forest bathing. In fact, I'm doing that this weekend. And what happens with forest bathing, you slow down, you open up your senses. And by this very slowing down and opening up your senses, you're moving from the mind, the brain, into the body to connect with your surroundings in a different way. You also begin to experience more pleasure and more joy, and that's so important. So you're moving your attention from difficulty and challenge to experience pleasure and joy. And what is really powerful with forest bathing is that when you spend 2 hours in the woodland, slowing down and being, your cortisol levels drop by around 18 or 20%. That's quite a big drop. So when you maybe come into the natural world, you may feel a particular way, but when you leave 2 hours later, you feel more present, you feel more at peace, more relaxed, calmer, and you really sleep well that night because your nervous system has come into a more regulated place again. Now, forest bathing is very different because you're coming together in a group, so you get the co-regulation of the group and you get that sense of community that many of us are missing. But even so, you can come into a woodland, you can go to the water, you can go into a park on your own and spend time with the natural world, and you're going to feel better. So this can really help you with perimenopause or with any difficulty that you may be experiencing. And the reconnection with the natural world is very healing and it is transformative. And this is available to anybody, even when you're living in a big city. And I was living in London at the time, and I found my way to the Thames every day, and the water of the Thames was very soothing and healing for me. So let me know in comments how you experience your connection with nature and whether you'd like to know more about nature connection. I will be bringing more about the power of nature to this channel, and I will do that with the natural world. And watch out for my next video because I'm going to share a meditation in this woodland with you so you can actually experience forest bathing wherever you are. Wishing you a beautiful day. Please like, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and thank you for being here.